There is a smell that I cannot detect because it is unfamiliar to me. This is a place where I said I would never really come. There are people getting off bicycles and motorbikes and cars rushing by, and people carrying plastic bags with vegetables and other things hanging out the end. A woman buys apples and another buys eggs from a lady who barely comes to my shoulders. It is nearly dinner time, and the rush to buy food is the center stage. The woman I know well but never speak to smiles as I pass by, but we cannot communicate other than through the universal ability to smile at each other. It is the route I always go, because I love that smile, and it opens this cosmos of the market before me. I walk past flopping fish and look at the parts of the fish on the counter, with red blood and intestines and bladders all around raw hunks of meat. It is a foreign world to me, but one that I move within naturally now. People point to vegetables and utter some things in a language I can't understand, but I know they simply want me to buy some of their vegetables. I don't have names for all of them. I move to an older man whose teeth are what I see through his smile. As my eyes finally gaze at his face, he greets me in my own language, but it means little other than a partial greeting that I can build upon into a more complete sentence. It is his fingers that soon point to tomatoes because he knows I like them, and they are fresh today. Unsure, he quickly points to peppers in case I don't want tomatoes today. I grab a tomato and he reaches below the counter and begins to put out more tomatoes for me to select from and keeps saying, "Good today." We both start to load tomatoes into a metal pan, and I finally motion that it is enough. He weighs the pan of tomatoes and grabs maybe one or two more to add to the pan and then tells me the price in his own language. It is low for me, and I pay him and smile. He then tells me, "Good afternoon," and I say, "See you tomorrow." And he repeats that, simply for effect. I move down the narrow aisles, and a lady waves from a distance. Her hand is turned down and raised to her shoulder, and the fingers gesture me to come her way. I walk past cages of chicken and look at the white ones, knowing their skin below the pure white feathers is black as night. My glance is at the head of the chicken, the bottom of a chicken, and all sorts of feet lying on the counter. The man has dipped a chicken in hot water and is pulling off feathers. Looks a little gross. I pass on to the lady who stands behind a broad counter full of parts of a pig, including a pig's leg, a pig foot, and a pig head. She quickly points to a hunk of meat and then another. I point to my own thigh, and she smiles and nods yes and points to another piece of meat. I consider the implications, and if this is enough to last maybe 2 or 3 days, then I say yes, and she weighs it, puts it in a small plastic bag, and then tells me the price by writing a number with her knife on the counter. I hear the swish of a sword as Zorro carves his signature in the air. It is a 7 with a line across it. I pay 7.5 yuan, and she and I are both happy. She smiles. I say, "Thank you," in Chinese. Ngoy.